Hello and welcome back, guys. So let's get started. So the very first page that we'll be building is the hero section. All right. So let me just quickly open up Code Sandbox over here, and then what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna create a new Sandbox, and I'm gonna press new React Sandbox. All right. So this will be our starter application. Just press visit anyway if you're getting this pop up. All right, cool. Control B to close off these things. All right, sounds fine. Let me just remove off this thing, and let me just go to Bootstrap's official website, so that we would embed Bootstrap into our project. Go to index.html. There are like multiple ways of importing Bootstrap, but I'm gonna do the easiest way. React.js. Okay, just before the body. Cool. And few other things that we will be needing is Font Awesome's this thing as well. So let me just quickly grab that Font Awesome kit for embedding the fonts into our website. So basically I have used a Ubuntu font over here, and there's this font, I don't remember the name, but we'll be using Ubuntu font mainly. Apart from that, all the other fonts, we also use Open Sans as well, so we will look into that. So now the very first thing that we'll be making is the app.js. Let me just go to app.js. Okay, I'm already over here. That's cool. So now I'm gonna open up the styles.css. Let me remove everything and write star over here. I'm gonna write padding as 0px and margin as 0px. So I'll be starting with scratch right over here. I wouldn't have any problems. All right, now the next part is the part where I need to basically import the fonts. So let me just quickly copy and paste the fonts. So as you can see, I've used Open Sans over here, and I've used Oswald, and I've used Ubuntu, right? So you can go ahead, go to this website called Google Fonts, and grab the fonts which I have told you. So the first one is Open Sans, Oswald, and Ubuntu. All right, you can just look at this in the screen, press this one, import, and just directly import off in the styles.js file. All right, so now after that, let us just open up app.js again, and now right over here, the very first section that we will be building up on is this section, which is the hero section. I'm gonna give a class name of hero section, and okay, I'm gonna give py of 5 maybe. Okay, and then inside it we will be creating a nav bar. All right, and this nav bar would basically have a brand name. All right, and I'm gonna give it as Metafisa Studios. Here you can give this thing as your name as well. It really depends upon you. All right, so let me just write dflex. So we'll be making it as display flex, and flex direction would be row, and I'm gonna write justify content between. All right, and after that I'm gonna create a div which will hold all of the options. Class name, okay, dflex flex row. Okay, and right over here I will be creating the options that we are having. So we are having Let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 options. All right. So let me write home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Let me just change off the values. Next section would be the very first section would be the hero section. And then after that it would be about section, about the user, about us. Then we would have the resume section, and then after that we would have a testimonial section, and soon after that we would have a contact me section where the user would be able to send an email to us. All right. So let me just open up this website in a new page. Okay. Cool. So that we can look at the website properly. So the next part is making this V shape. So the tool that we'll be using to make this V shape, it will be very easy. I mean, like, it's very easy to use. So it is actually related to ClipPath. So we will go ahead and search something like ClipPath CSS generator. And right over here, we will choose the very first link that we are getting. I don't think you'll get the same link, but choose the bennettfeely.com, right? Choose that one and press this thing, Clippy. Okay. And now you'll see a lot of options over here. You'll see the one that I always use is, this one. Actually, you can use anything. It really depends upon you. Let me just delete off this one and let me just make this thing something like this. Okay. So this is how we will be creating the V shape that we are seeing over here on this website. All right. It's very simple to make that thing. Just copy down this clip path that we are finding over here. Just copy it up and okay, look at this one. So we are having a proper, what do you call it? Proper navbar over here. It's been set up properly. Don't worry, we'll also work on the styling, background colors and all. But right now we are working on the navbar section in this particular video. So we'll be basically working on the, we'll just make the V shape and all. We'll just make the navbar and add the font stylings and all. Okay. So now right over here, let me just give the class names. So the class names which I'm gonna give is, class name would be, I'm gonna give this thing as brand name. Okay. And right, just use the shortcut, press Ctrl and Alt and press down so that we would span to all of these spans. Yeah, I'm gonna write MX4 so that we would have a distance between them, and I'll write nav items. All right, sounds fair enough. Cool. So now right over here, we will now go ahead and maybe work on the styling part. So let's open up the styles.css file and okay, so the very first thing that we did was make this thing margin 0. Let me make it as 0. I don't have to make it as 0px. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and write hero section. Okay, and the background that we'll be using is actually influenced from a website called Algo Expert. So I'm gonna use linear gradient and 90 degrees, and the color palette that we'll be using is 02203C, which is the first color, and the other color is 001528. So you know what, I'll just create a variable of it. Okay, so right now over here I'm just gonna write primary color. Okay, I'm gonna write primary app color. Okay, and I'm gonna basically copy this part. That way you'll learn about CSS variables as well in this particular course. So basically we need to write root, and it will just basically select the root of our application, and then by writing 2 hyphens we can give any name that we want, and then we need to give a value to it. Okay, and right over here I'm gonna give secondary app color. Okay, which would be 001528. You can just go ahead and copy the same color that I've told you. Now, in order to use the variables, we need to use var and write dash dash primary app color. Okay, and write var dash dash secondary app color. That way will basically have this color. All right. Now we just need to copy and paste the clip path that we got from here. I've already copied it from there. So let me just do this thing. All right, cool. Now we have the V shape that we are looking for. We just need to fix the styling and all of the nav items and put this brand name as well. Okay. So now what we will do, we will go ahead and take the class name. The class name of the nav items are nav items. Okay. Right, nav items over here, and I'm gonna change the cursor to pointer. Okay, so if we change the cursor to pointer, what it will do is that, you know, it will just, whenever I hover, I don't think you're able to see this thing, but whenever I hover this part, the nav item, my cursor pointer will change into a clickable pointer, so the user would know that this is a clickable thing. Okay, the next part is just changing the color. So I'm going to change it to white, which is hashtag FF3Fs or 6Fs. It really depends upon you. So as you can see, let me just make this thing back to 100. So now right over here, as you can see, we are getting white color over here. And now after this thing, we will basically change the font size. So the font size that I have used is 1.3 rem. It really depends upon the individual what exactly you want to use, but this is the very best one that you should use if you're making any website or something like that, so that the options would be clearly visible to the user. All right, and the font styling we'll be using, just like I told you in the beginning of the video, is Ubuntu. So now it will look like this. All right, now after that we will also need to like write the styling of this brand name. So let me just go ahead and write brand name. Okay, I'm gonna write font family, and I'm gonna use Oswald. Okay, Oswald. I'm gonna change the color to #FF, which is white, and I'm gonna make the size, I'm gonna make this a bigger size. I'm gonna make this thing as 2 rem. So now as you can see, it kind of looks the same. We just need to add the padding and all, which we'll add after a while. Right, so now we will just go ahead and create a padding custom class. Ideally it's like px5 for Bootstrap. That means it basically added some amount of padding on the x-axis on the left and right hand side, but we'll create a new one. I'm gonna make this thing as px10, which will be nothing but you know, a padding in line 90. So I'm gonna write px10. All right, and I'm gonna write padding in line 90 px, which is nothing but padding on the left hand side and right hand side 90. So I guess this looks equally the same. Okay, just that we don't have this content right over here. Okay, cool. Now we have finally developed the nav bar of this part. Now in this video, before closing this video, just write the HTML of the below part over here. All right, so let me just quickly write this HTML for the below part. So I'm gonna create one more div. All right, and I'm gonna give a class name of hero section 2. Okay, I'm gonna make this thing as a row because we have 2 components, and I'm gonna make this thing a justify content center so that everything would be in center. Okay, so ideally it would have 2 divs. which would first one would have a class name of col lg5 and col md6 and col sm12. Okay, and I'm gonna copy and paste the same thing, but here we will basically, you know, change this thing to 6 so that it would be automatically equally divided. Actually that thing should be 7, but it's okay. Let me just make this thing as 6 and it would do the same thing again. Okay, and on the left hand side we would have a div. So basically we are having two divs over here, mainly two divs, the left side div and the right hand side div. On the right hand side div we'll have an image, on the left hand side we will have the text. So it's easy, it's actually very easy. So let me just quickly write down the values, I mean like the HTML. So now let me just create a div. Okay, ideally it would create we will create a div with flexbox dflex, which is display flex, and I'm going to make the flex direction as flex column. If you are wondering how did I get this flex column, it's from the Bootstrap. If you guys do not know about Bootstrap, so it's just equivalent of basically making this thing as display flex and the flex direction as column. Okay, I hope that you understand CSS. It's a little prerequisite for this course. Anyhow, I'm also gonna write justify content center, and I'm gonna create a custom class which I'm gonna write I am text section, where basically we'll be speaking about ourselves, right? So makes sense. After that, basically the very first thing is our name. So our name would be something related to, okay, something related to this part. Okay, I'm gonna give a span and I'm gonna give a name of class name of I am text. So yeah, I am text, and yeah, I guess over here, and I'm gonna write hello. I'm gonna write a span because this text and that text have a different styling. Okay, and I'm gonna give this thing as maybe I am text. You can name anything that you want, and my name is Muhammad Khan. All right, we'll do the styling in the next video. Okay, now after this thing we will need the next part, which is this one, enthusiastic dev, where we'll be adding the type.js. Okay, I'll show you how to add it in React.js. Don't worry about it. And right over here I'm gonna write I am text enthusiastic. Yeah, enthusiastic. I'm gonna give a py of 2. That means padding block on of 24 as far as I know. And I'm gonna write this for now. I'm gonna write this thing as enthusiastic div. So in order to embed an emoji, we will go to the website called Emojipedia. Okay, and we will search for something like cool, which is nothing but smiley face with sunglasses. I don't know, people find it cool. Okay, I'm gonna paste it over here. Okay, it will just give you a warning that emojis should be wrapped inside span and have the role image, but it's really up to you to do that. Okay, so I guess most of our things are done on the left hand side of the hero section. Yes, yeah, I guess that's done on the left hand side. There is a few more things that we need to add. We need to add this part and those two images, those two buttons. Okay, all the styling, animations and all we'll do it in the next video. All right, so now this part is done, so I'm going to create one more span. And I'm going to give this a class name of I am text subheading. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna write enter over here. I'm gonna write knack of building applications with front and back end operations. All right, cool. Now after this part, we will now go ahead and work on the, let me just reload this page real quick. Yeah, just want to make sure that this thing is added. The color is black actually, text color. That is the reason you're not able to see this thing. All right, cool. Now right over here, this part is done. Now we also need to add these two buttons. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a div and I'm going to make it as display flex, and I'm going to change the direction as flex row so that both of them would be one side by side. And then I'm going to make this thing as justify content maybe center. Okay, so let's just try it out. We can tweak the CSS a little bit according to our need. So now I'm gonna make this thing as flex, deflex flex row, justify content center. I'm gonna make this thing as MT5. That means it will have a margin top of 5 on the top. And I'm gonna create two buttons. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give class name of btn hire me, which would say hire me. Okay. And one more button of get resume, where we will be adding a resume. I'll show you how to add a resume. It's very easy. Resume me. Okay, so I guess the first part is done, and on the next part it's not quite complex, it's actually very easy. Okay, so I'm gonna add div over here. I'm gonna add a class name of dflex justify content center so that the image that we are adding would be centered automatically. Okay, let me just make this thing properly. Yeah, I'm gonna write custom div outer image. Okay, and I just gave a custom class over here. Cool. Now after this part, we will basically add the image, which is very easy. I'm gonna give a class name of image fluid. Okay, and alt hero image. Adding an alt is very important for SEO. Okay, and I'm gonna give a src of, so basically I've uploaded my image on Cloudinary platform. You can go to cloudinary.com, and Cloudinary, it's a platform where you can upload the images and host videos, images, anything that you want. It's a platform, it's very easy, and the UI is very simple. If you have any doubts on uploading the images, then feel free to ask me in the questions area. So I've just uploaded this image over here. You can use any, you can just upload it on your drive, or it's really up to you. Right now I guess most of the part is done. Okay, it is just that these buttons are, I don't know where the buttons are. Let me just reload and check it out. I guess we have changed the URL by reloading the page. Yeah, I guess this is added, this is working, this is like fine, right? So that's it for this video, guys. I don't want to make this video very big. In the next video, we'll work on the styling of this website, which is the right side part and the left side part of the hero section. So see you all guys over there. Till then, goodbye and take care.